rock, kick, down.
I'm Haley Robinson, and I'm a former Fair Queen full of wanderlust. I explore art, culture, community, heritage, history, and more, one festival at a time. I invite you to join me in Finding Festivals.
If you're from the area, this may look familiar to you. Behind me is Big Red, and we're in Holland, Michigan.
Since 1929, the city of Holland, Michigan has celebrated its Dutch heritage in early May. Over 100 tulip varieties make up the sea of vibrant colors throughout the city. Windmill Island Gardens is a popular destination during tulip time with over 150,000 tulips to gaze at. After snapping some photos for social media, I ran into Gwen, who shared the story of how it all began.
Lyda Rogers was a biology teacher at the local high school in 1927, and she realized that most of the students in her classroom came from Dutch settlers or of Dutch descent. So she had an idea to plant tulips. 100,000 tulips was her goal. So she had to pitch the idea for a couple years to the Women's Literary Club, the City Council, and finally they said, okay, we'll do that. Planted 100,000 tulips in the fall of 1928. 1929 they bloomed, and the festival from there began. It brings in 500,000 people over the 9 days, and the community itself has residents of 35,000. So you kind of look at the scale and the numbers, and it's a really big task to be able to pull this off and have everybody on the same page. We have over 1,000 volunteer opportunities. We could not put this festival on without those 1,000 volunteers and many people who work all week long. So they'll fill a spot every day. And it's just really special that the community comes out and embraces the festival, embraces sharing this lovely community with our guests, and that's really neat.
And what a way to celebrate spring and kick off summer, right?
Exactly.
Come together for 9 whole days. Oh my gosh, what a party.
It is a party. I said, how many people can work for 51 weeks a year to plan a party that lasts 9 days and you invite 500,000 of your favorite friends and family? I mean, what else is there?
I love that analogy. That's fantastical.
After climbing a few flights of stairs, well, this felt like more than just a few. I'm greeted with a beautiful view of the gardens at the top of the De Zwaan, which is the only authentic Dutch windmill in the United States. In addition to the views, this windmill still operates.
When it's working, and the building itself kind of pulses and shakes, and there's flour going around in the air.
So where does the flour go once it's produced?
We sell it all on site. We've done some one-off projects with breweries and bakeries in the past, but usually we can't produce it fast enough and package it. Packaging is the biggest thing. Is everyone wants to buy these nice little tourist bags, not a big 50-pound sack like they would have used to put it in. So packaging takes a while, but it's all sold here on site.
Wow, so in addition to making it on site and touring the windmill and seeing the engineering that goes into it, you can also take a little bit home and get the flavor of Windmill Island.
You can, yeah.
I love that. What a great way to extend your experience here. How many visitors on average do you see annually?
We get about 150,000 people a year. We're open as a park 6 months a year. We're open through April through October. Yeah, and then half of them decide to come in these 10 days. So that's why I would tell people, if you want good crowds and tulips now, if you want less crowds, come other times.
What does tulip time mean for you?
So tulip time to me really means it's the time our community comes back alive in the spring. Tulip time is kind of our first hit. We open a couple weeks early to get staff trained, but tulip time is the first flood of visitors that we get here. People from out of town come back into town, people who are visiting come into town. The town just lights up. The tulips are beautiful in bloom, and the community just absolutely comes alive. It's a great way to kick off our year. Some communities have kind of year-ending celebrations. Ours, it's really the beginning of the year. It kicks back off. The snow's usually gone by now, and we can just enjoy spring and summer and new growth. It's just an awesome time to start the year.
I'm not much of a baker, but Matt did mention another wheat-based product I like. Big Lake Brewing has been making local craft brews since 2013, and this year they captured the taste of the festival with their Tulip Time.
It's our 10-year anniversary. We want to do something really big, and we thought, what's really big in Holland? Well, the Tulip Festival is the biggest thing in Holland. 500,000 people come to a 30,000 person town and take over with millions of tulips all over. So we partnered with Tulip Time. What better way to display what we do and what they do is the poster art on a can and our wonderful beer in that can.
Kind the creation process of that? I'm sure it was back and forth, but like, was there a lot of tasting or?
So we did some tastings. Our brewer, Zach Dreyer, has been doing this. He homebrewed for many years before he became our head brewer 5 years ago. And he came up with a bunch of different ideas, and we tried it in-house first, and then we came up with a couple samples for Tulip Time to try, and we all agreed on this one spring lager with tangerine, that it's a light, it's a refreshing beer, and it's something that everyone can drink. It's not like an IPA or a stout or a sour or something that's off the wall. It's just a nice mainstream beer that everyone can enjoy.